Have you ever felt like you've ticked all the boxes, the great job, the nice apartment, the respect of your peers, but something still feels missing? That was exactly where Ethan found himself. At 32, he had everything he thought he wanted. He'd climbed the corporate ladder, achieved success, yet every morning he woke up with a profound sense of emptiness. It was like he was playing a part in a movie that wasn't his own. One afternoon, seeking an escape, he sat in a park, staring blankly at his phone. That's when he met Mira. She was sitting on a nearby bench, her presence calm and radiant. She wasn't doing much, just watching the world with a gentle smile. She didn't offer any grand speeches or quick fixes. Instead, their connection began with simple, quiet moments. She encouraged him to put down his phone and just be. Following her gentle guidance, Ethan started to explore a world beyond his spreadsheets and deadlines. He began journaling, not about his career goals, but about what truly made him feel alive. He volunteered at a local community garden, feeling the soil in his hands and connecting with people from all walks of life. He took long walks in nature, noticing the way sunlight filtered through the leaves, something he'd been too busy to see before. These weren't grand gestures, but small daily acts of paying attention. He was slowly disconnecting from the noise of ambition and tuning into the frequency of his own heart. Then, a major setback hit him at work. A project he'd poured months into was suddenly shelved. In the past, this would have crushed him. He felt the old panic rising, the feeling of failure. He went to see Mira, expecting sympathy. Instead, she looked at him with her steady, compassionate gaze and asked a simple yet powerful question: who benefits when you show up? That question shifted everything. It wasn't about his title, his performance, or his success. It was about his impact. Who was he helping? What value was he creating for others? Ethan realized his purpose wasn't a destination to be reached or a title to be won. It was a way of being, a daily choice. He started to align his actions with his deepest values: service, creativity, and genuine connection. He found meaning not in the applause he received, but in the contribution he made. True purpose isn't about finding the perfect job. It's about discovering how you can serve others, living by your values every single day, and choosing meaning over praise. It grows quietly from the inside out. We all have the same hunger for meaning in our lives, yet some people radiate a deep sense of purpose, while others, despite achieving great success, feel a persistent emptiness. The difference isn't always wealth, status, or achievement. It's how we define what truly matters. Many of us chase external validation, climbing ladders that lean against the wrong walls, only to find the view from the top is hollow. What if I told you that the purpose you're searching for isn't a destination to be reached, but a path to be walked every single day? Today's story is about a young man named Ethan, who had a life many would envy, but felt a void that his success couldn't fill. Through a chance encounter with a wise woman named Mira, he discovered a truth that redefined his entire existence. If you've ever felt that there must be more to life than just the next promotion or paycheck, this story is for you. Watch till the end, because this simple lesson could change how you find meaning in every moment. Ethan, at 32, had it all: a corner office, a six-figure salary, and the respect of his peers. Yet an unshakable feeling of emptiness haunted his quiet moments. He had won the race, but felt no joy at the finish line. One afternoon, sitting in a park, he met Mira, an elderly woman whose serene presence seemed to hold a wisdom that success couldn't buy. She became his unlikely mentor. Through quiet afternoons spent journaling, volunteering at a local shelter, and taking long walks in nature, Mira guided Ethan away from the noise of ambition and toward the whisper of his own values. She never gave him answers, only the space to find them himself. A sudden career setback, a project he We all have a definition of success in our minds, yet some people reach the pinnacle of their careers only to find an aching void, while others find profound joy in the simplest acts of living. The difference isn't always ambition, wealth, or recognition. It's how we define the very meaning of our existence. Most of us chase titles and accomplishments, believing they will bring us fulfillment, without realizing that the applause we seek can often drown out the quiet call of our own hearts. What if I told you that right now you possess the key to a deeply meaningful life, but you might be looking for the wrong door? Today's story is about Ethan, a man who had everything society defines as success, but was trapped by a feeling of emptiness that no achievement could fill. Through an encounter with a wise woman and a powerful, life-changing journey of self-discovery, he found a truth that redefined his entire world. If you've ever felt that something is missing despite your accomplishments, or you're chasing a future that doesn't feel like your own, this story might be the compass you need. Watch till the end, because these few minutes could change how you measure the value of your life. Once there was a man named Ethan who had everything he'd ever worked for. At 32, he was a celebrated professional with a corner office and a salary that afforded him a life of comfort. His colleagues respected his drive, and his family praised his success. Yet despite all these achievements, Ethan felt a persistent hollowness. He had climbed the ladder, but the view from the top was barren. One afternoon, seeking refuge from his silent discontent, he sat in a quiet park. It was there he met Mira, an elderly woman whose serene presence seemed to radiate a quiet wisdom. She didn't offer answers, but her peaceful smile invited a conversation that would change his life. Guided by Mira's gentle mentorship, Ethan began to explore a world beyond his career. She didn't give him lectures or grand theories. Instead, she encouraged simple practices. He started journaling, not about his goals, but about his feelings. He volunteered at a local community garden, his hands in the soil, feeling a connection to something larger than himself. They took long, silent walks in nature, where the rustling leaves spoke more profoundly than any boardroom meeting. Slowly, through these quiet moments, Ethan started to uncover his core values: creativity, connection, and service, which had long been buried under a mountain of ambition. The true test came when Ethan faced a major professional setback. A project he had poured months into was suddenly shelved, leaving him feeling adrift and worthless. In his despair, he went to Mira, expecting sympathy. Instead, she asked him a simple, piercing question: "Who benefits when you show up as your truest self?" The question struck him like lightning. He realized he had spent his life asking, "What can I gain?" instead of, "What can I give?" From that day forward, Ethan's focus shifted. He began to align his daily actions with his values, not his vanity. He started a small mentorship program for young professionals in his field, finding joy in their growth. He reconnected with his love for painting, creating not for praise, but for the sheer act of expression. He nurtured his relationships with friends and family, understanding that true wealth was in shared moments. His purpose didn't arrive in a flash of insight. It grew quietly from the soil of contribution, emerging not from a title or a trophy, but from a life dedicated to serving others, living his values, and choosing meaning over applause. We all have moments when we stop and wonder, is this all there is? Yet some people seem to find deep meaning in their lives, while others chase endless goals, only to feel hollow at the top. The difference isn't always about achievement, wealth, or status. It's about how we define the very purpose of our existence. Most of us are taught to climb a ladder, pursuing titles and applause, without realizing that the ladder might be leaning against the wrong wall. What if I told you that right now, at this very moment, you possess the key to a deeply fulfilling life, but you might be looking for it in all the wrong places? Today's story is about a young man who had achieved everything society told him to want, but was trapped by a profound sense of emptiness that nearly unraveled his success. Through an encounter with a wise mentor and a powerful, life-changing question, he discovered a truth that transformed his entire life. If you've ever found yourself asking, "What's next?" after a big win, or feeling a quiet void despite your accomplishments, this story might be the compass you need. Watch till the end, because these few minutes could change how you see the true meaning of success. If this story resonated with you, let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that inspire. See you next time.